On the evening of June 19, 2020, in the wake of the George Floyd protests, a statue of the highly revered Freemason Albert Pike was toppled, among others, by these protesters because of his racist past. And just 1 week later, Donald Trump personally requested that that statue in particular, amongst all of them, be restored and resurrected. And now, 5 years later, that is exactly what is taking place. But who is Albert Pike, and why would Donald Trump want that statue, out of all the other ones that were torn down, resurrected and restored? Well, when I visited the Grand Lodge of Freemasonry in Washington, D.C. in 2013, I was shown just how revered Albert Pike is, and that his body is actually entombed there.
Mr. Pike is buried 6 feet behind here. We had to ask the U.S. Congress if we could move his body across state lines, so it took an act of Congress to bring Mr. Pike here.
So let's get it from the horse's mouth. Albert Pike himself, who wrote the book Morals and Dogma. For context, let's first read from Pike about how Freemasons in the lower levels are intentionally misled. The blue degrees are but the outer core or portico of the temple. Part of the symbols are displayed there to the initiate, but he is intentionally misled by false interpretations. It is not intended that he shall understand them, but it is intended that he shall imagine he understands them. Their true explanation is reserved for the adepts, the princes of masonry. So lower level masons are intentionally misled, and it is only the higher initiates who receive the truth of Freemasonry. It goes on to reveal the principal philosophy of Freemasonry. Masonry is a search after the light, and that search, as you see, leads us directly back to the Kabbalah. So he clearly states that Masonry is a search after the light. Sounds good, right? They teach that it's all about turning your inner coal into a diamond and bringing out your inner light. But who is that light? The book goes on to explain that that light is God, and that's what the lower initiates are taught. But it's not until you get to the highest level that you actually get to understand who that God really is. And here it is in Morals and Dogma, the book written by Albert Pike, the man who Donald Trump wants his statue resurrected, where he says, Lucifer the light bearer. Strange and mysterious name to give to the spirit of darkness, Lucifer, the son of the morning. Is it he who bears the light, and with its splendors intolerable, blinds, feeble, sensual, or selfish souls? Doubt it not. And remember, this is not me saying this. This is coming directly from the horse's mouth, Albert Pike. The Confederate general who Trump wants his statue resurrected is telling his fellow Freemasons that Masonry is a search after the light, and the light bearer is Lucifer.